everybody, it's Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. How are you guys? I hope that you are enjoying my video. This week has been going pretty good, I think, and I hope that you've been enjoying the video. If you missed the live video, please check that out because there's a replay on YouTube. And we are using the Cheerful Daisies. It is a stamp set, actually part of a bundle and a suite that will be in the up and coming annual catalog that will start on May the 2nd. If you need a catalog, please let me know, but make sure that you don't have a demonstrator. And you can contact me with the information that's listed in the description below this video. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think, and you can always share this video to Pinterest, and by you sharing the video it really helps me, so I would really appreciate that. We are pairing this for this card using time-worn type that's available now, and tailor-made tags, which I love. This is the decorative one that we're using today. All right, let's get started. I'm going to move these guys out of the way. They may be coming back so I can show you what we've used. My base card is using the in colors, which is what I've been doing this week, is promoting the 5 new in colors that are coming on May 2nd. This is a piece of wild wheat, and it is a beautiful color. I'm going to put it in here. It's 11 by 4 1/4, and I'm going to score it at the 5.5 inch mark so that it'll be ready to be made into our card base. So that was my Simply Score tool that you saw me pull out. I use it all the time. I keep it right next to my desk. And we are going to use a bone folder here and burnish on that score mark that I made. So this is the base of my card, and then I have a piece that is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, and that is the piece that has the time-worn type embossing plate. So this is what it looks like when it comes through the plate, and this is going to be layered here. But before I do that, we are going to use our blending brushes, and we're going to put a little color on it. So I'm going to grab a scrap paper that I've been using while I've been designing these cards. You can see it's been well loved with lots of things. And in order to know where to deposit that beautiful color, which is another one of our in colors called Moody Mauve, I'm going to use the tag as my guide. So here is my Moody Mauve, and I'm using a small blending brush. And so I'm going to lay my tag where it's going to go. And then I'm going to go ahead and pick up some of that Moody Mauve. I'm going to deposit the first remnants onto my scrap paper. And then I'm going to move my tag. And I'm just going to put it around where that tag would be. And then just to make sure that I have enough color saturation, I'm going to put my tag up there. I'm going to bring it back. I'm going to add just a little more color. I'm not going to actually need to put in any more to my ink pad. It's nice and juicy because it's a brand new ink pad, right? And I'm just going to add a little bit more pink. And that is all. You can see it pulls out the beautiful embossing. So let's go ahead and close our Moody Mauve. Put that to the side. And then as far as our other bits and pieces, I'm going to show you. I have used this beautiful die right here. That is the parts that are around our tag. So when you die cut that, this is what you get. You get leaves and 3 flowers, and I'm going to separate them, and I'm going to use them in parts and pieces all over my card. So I have this flower on the corner, the leaves tucked in on the left, and then on the right top I have the small flower and then the large flower. And I have even used these pieces that have fallen out of the leaf, and I'm going to bring this up to camera for you to see. Here is one of them right here. And here is the other. So I have even used those as little pieces onto my card. So I'm going to put the card up here. I'm sure it's not completely in camera. You don't have a large surface to work with when you're filming, unfortunately. But we know where our tag's going to go. We know what's going to go on our tag. We know what's going to go behind it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut apart using my paper snips these pieces. So I'm going to cut and separate my leaves. And they've been cut out of very vanilla cardstock. That is the color that I'm using. There's my two inner parts of the leaves there. And I'm going to snip this small daisy away from the large and away from this other daisy. So there's that one. And then I'm going to also separate this small daisy from the large one. And when I do that, it's going to leave some little shards onto where they were attached. And so you just want to kind of round those out. And the same thing with the pieces that are left on our large daisy. We're just going to snip them off and prepare these pieces to be used around my tag. All right, so there's my flower. Now we're going to stamp this large daisy, and we're also going to do our words here. So our large daisy is going to go on this scrap of vanilla. So I'm going to grab my outline piece first, okay? And then I'm going to grab my inside piece. And I'm going to start with wild wheat. And I'm going to grab my little background scrap paper that I've been using because we're going to do some stamping off. So the first piece is going to get fully inked and wild wheat right here. So there's that piece, okay? This we're gonna clean. Won't need this one again. We're only stamping one daisy on this card. But now we're gonna do the inner portion, and I don't want it to be as dark as the outline, so we're gonna stamp off. So I'm gonna go ahead and ink that up in our wild wheat. I'm gonna stamp off onto my scrap paper, okay? And then I'm gonna hover my stamp with this pale color over the top. Make sure that my daisy is lined up as best I can. I mean, you know, life's not perfect, neither am I. But I'm gonna press that down. And there is my inner section, okay? Now we're gonna clean this stamp. And we're gonna also stamp the words that say, wishing you the brightest birthday. So let's grab that, same color. We're gonna die cut this all out together. So I'm gonna go ahead and stamp that over here. Now we're done for now with our wild wheat. We have to do the center of our large daisy, and that's going to be another stamp. I'll show you that. And we're going to use another in color called Pebbled Path. So here is our center, and this is the color Pebbled Path. It's kind of like a gray, but it has some brown to it. It's a beautiful color. And we're going to turn our daisy like so, and kind of hover this on the inner portion here and stamp our center. All right. The last step before we die cut is I want to do a little bit more inking. So I'm going to move this piece out of the way temporarily. And I'm going to bring in the paper. Now we have a beautiful paper suite that goes with the Cheerful bundle. Let me get this out of the way so that you can see. I just used a small strip of it, but I'm going to show you. It's a beautiful pack of paper, and it comes in 12 by 12. We have a sheet that has all these beautiful daisies on it. And then you have this piece here, which is the one that I cut that little strip from. You have this. You have this one, which has white daisies at the bottom. You have this. You have that. And then, of course, you have, like I told you, the piece that has those beautiful daisies cut from it. So because this paper uses mostly white daisies, and I am using, excuse me, vanilla, I wanted to use one of the in-color pieces to turn this a little bit different. I'll show you the inside of my card. So you can see that I've yellowed my daisies somewhat. And that's what we're gonna do on this piece. So I'm gonna grab another small blending brush that I have, and I'm gonna use my wild wheat. And I'm just gonna pick up a little, and I'm gonna get most of it off. I don't want it to be super dark. I just want a tinge of that yellow to take over that white, so you can see the difference. I'm gonna hold it up to the camera. There's the white and the yellow. And it just adds just enough color to remove that stark white from there and to really tie it in with the rest of our pieces. All right, so let me get this blending brush out of our way. And no more stamping, so we can get that out. Let me trim down our scrap piece, and then I will grab my mini machine here. I'm gonna separate these pieces. All right. So let's get the mini machine. I love the little mini machine because it's super portable. It works when you need to use just a small section of your desk, right? Because we always tend to work ourselves into a hole when we are, and it just fits so perfectly in the camera. So I love using it. So we're going to use plate number 1, plate number 2. And let's get this big guy on here, and let's get the die. So you can see the dies have a big variety of things that you can do with them. So this is the one I told you that we used for our background. Then you have this, which cuts out the stamped image, and you have an overlay. If you wanted to do a die cut with texture, you could use that one. You have that for each of the sizes of daisies that are in the stamp set. So we're going to use this one, and we are going to go ahead and line it up with our daisy. And we'll put our cover on the top. Oh, not like that, we won't. Let's make a sandwich and then put it in the machine. That will be much easier, I think. It's hard to slide it in when it's a mini machine, but if you make your sandwich on your desk first, like so, then you take your sandwich and hold it and put it in your machine. It's a little bit easier to get it going. And once we have that going, I move my hand to the top to keep it cranking through. You can also use Post-it tape, washi tape to hold your piece in place. So there's my daisy. I'm going to just put that with the other pieces. I'm going to discard that. And then we're going to grab our next piece, which is our label. Where's my, here's the words. Again, we want to make sure that you have it set up just how you want it to look. That looks good to me. Then I'm going to make my sandwich, hold it in place, and get it going through my machine. You got to hold the top. It's a lightweight machine because that's what makes it so portable, right? I love that the little sides go up. It's perfect. And then when we pull our little label out, there's our wishing you the brightest birthday. We're going to discard that piece. Put my die back on here. And we'll put these guys away for now. All right. Let's get these plates out of the way and get started assembling our card. We have all of our parts and pieces now. All right, so we can attach our 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 inch piece, and I'm going to use my silicone mat if I can find what I did with it. I don't know. Here, we'll use this one. I have 2 mats. One's somewhere on my desk, but I just can't see it for the moment. We're going to use our multi-purpose, and we're going to go ahead and attach that like so. This is going to leave a very tiny border all the way around. Very slight, but that's nice. All right, so there's our border. Now, this piece is going to be lifted up with dimensionals. So let me grab my dimensionals if I can find them. They may be on my desk somewhere. I'm sure they are because I'm good like that. Here we go. So we're going to go ahead and put a few of these guys on our tag. Now this tag has to support all the other pieces, and I don't want it dipping in the center, so I'm going to go ahead and add 2 for good measure, but you don't have to. It's just my thing. Come on. All right, I'm just going to put this off to the side. Now, we're going to figure out our placement. So it looks like I'm going to move these guys out of the way, and this one's going to be on top, but the other ones are going to be under. So we're going to figure out where we want them. We're just going to hover our tag, and we're going to start figuring out where we want these pieces to lay. I think I had this one backwards like this. I like that because it sticks up nice. Looks like I put one of these guys with it, so we'll put that one over there. Just lay it in place. All right, so that'll be there. Then we're going to put the large flower, and it looks like all the big petals are out. So we're going to lay that. They're about touching there, aren't they? So that's good. And then it looks like I took the other little innard piece and laid it this direction right here. So that one's going to go there. And then the leaves went over here like that. That looks good to me. So I'm going to put my tag down. I'm going to slide my card to the right, and I'm going to lift one piece at a time and put glue on it. So we're going to start with these little small pieces first, and then we're going to do the larger pieces. So we're going to just put a little bit of this wet adhesive. Let me get it going. There we go. Onto these spots, and we're going to tuck this one in right here. Then we're going to lift our flower and we will put it next. Just put a little down each of these petals, but not every petal, just a few. We don't want it to be too glued. We want to have a little movement. So then this one is going to go like this right here. Okay, and then we're going to do our leaves. Well, actually, I'm going to mark my leaf with a pencil because no one will see it. Right here is where the stem goes. That will help. Whenever you can use these little tricks to kind of hold stuff in place or mark your spot where it's not going to be seen, go ahead and do that. And I'm just going to put a little bit, I want movement at the top. So we'll go ahead and put that in place. Put that little stem right there. That way we know. We'll glue that down. Let's do this little wiry piece that's going to be underneath the large flower, which will help us place the large flower. And I'm going to do the same thing with my large flower piece. I'm going to mark it because I definitely want to know where my pieces are. So it's going to be under the tag. No one's going to see this part. So I'm just going to put these humps in so that I can see where they go. So when it comes time to gluing this flower down, let's use some of this. There we go. So we're going to put most of the adhesive on the pieces that are tucked and then just a few petals. We don't want all of it to be stuck. So now that I have those marked, see, I'm going to move it till I have it right, there we go, in place. And no one's going to see those markings there. There we go. All right. Now, let's put our tag. So we're going to figure out about right there. Want a little bit of that leaf showing. We want some of that flower. I think that looks pretty good. Let me move it a smidge more this way. There, I love that. Okay, so there's our tag. Now we can glue our large flower in place. And so I'm just going to put in the center here kind of a circle of glue. And we're going to place our flower kind of high up, about right there. Okay. I love how that looks. And then we are going to figure out what we're doing with this little guy. We're going to just glue this top portion. So in between all these little dots, I'm just going to put just a little bit. And then I'm going to go around these bottom dots. And then I'm going to leave the petals alone. So that should be where I want my flower to go. Just like that. And then these pieces are going to be stuck up. I am going to go ahead and put some mini dimensionals behind them. So I'm going to pull the backs off and I'm going to tuck one under this piece. And then I might cut some strips. So that's that one because I don't want them to fall. And you guys know how I always have my little strips. So it looks like we need 3. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to pull the backs off of them while they're in my hand, and then I can just tuck them in underneath those petals. All right, so there's 3. And let's go ahead. We'll start on this end. I'm just gonna tuck and put that little one down, do the next one. And the last one. These guys are good. Yeah, they just need a little support since they're sticking out there on the end and it's like hovering over because our tag is raised. All right, so now comes our best wishing you the best or brightest birthday, sorry. Okay, so we're gonna put our tag like this. So we need support here. So let's get 2 dimensionals. We'll put 1 on this end and then 1 a little bit farther in and pull the backs. 2 and 1 a little bit farther in. 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 2 and 1 a little bit fart off of those. Oh, I should have used my take your pick tool. And then we're going to go ahead and put adhesive on this portion because it's going to be laying on our tag. We want it definitely to stay stuck. So let's throw these guys in the trash before they end up on my craft room floor. I'm going to grab my tag and I'm going to hover it how I want it to look, maybe right there. Make sure that I'm straight. I have to hold it up because when it's down, I'm angled. There we go. And then the finishing touch is going to be our baker's twine. We're going to use the vanilla. We have 5 colors in this essential pack. I'm getting wore down on some of them, but I'm just going to go ahead and tie it right here. So I'm just going to find, maybe a little farther back, my 2 rabbit ears. Okay. Gonna cross them, put them through. Now the key to this is when you pull. I'll show you. You're gonna pull, okay? You want to hold your knot when you pull your piece. You always want to be holding that knot because that will keep your twine from twirling. So see how it wants to twirl on me, but me holding that knot kind of prevents it from doing the little twirly whirl. And I'm gonna do the same thing again, holding on to it. I'm gonna hold this side and pull. I want them to be real small loops. And that looks about the size. So let's go ahead and grab my ribbon scissor and I'm gonna trim this end. Okay, and then I'm going to grab a mini glue dot. So let's put my twine away. All right, let's grab these little guys. And we're going to use the take your pick tool. And we're going to pull one of these little guys off. I think I have to trim some of this. I'm gonna make a little ball. And we're gonna put it behind our knot. Make sure it grabs, and then we're gonna press that into the hole of our tag, and we're gonna push that down so it sticks, and that will hold our little bow in place. I have like something on this bow. I'm trying to get it off. It's like a little fleck of something. There we go. I got it. All right. So there's that. And then we're going to let these pieces just be straight. I'm going to trim that one just slightly. It's a little too long. There we go. All right. And now let's do the inside of our card. Let's trim this because it's way too long. All right, let's do the inside. We need our silicone mat always, and I always have lots of glue on it. Let's flip it over. We're gonna attach our little inked up piece of designer series paper. And that paper is part of the suite. You'll be able to purchase the paper and the bundle, as well as some embellishments. I'll show you those. I didn't use them on the project, but I'll show you them. They also are part of the suite. But let's go ahead and give a little gap at the top of some vanilla paper showing. There we go. Happy with that. Looks awesome. Now we're gonna flip and we'll glue this to the inside. And last time I glued that DSP towards the top I'm going to do the same thing because I really like it up there. So let's make sure that when I flip it over, there we go, that I do it the right way. I'm going to turn this sideways. It's a little easier to manage. And this piece for the inside was 4 inches by 5 1/4 of vanilla. And the scrap little strip here of the DSP was 1/2 inch by 4 inches. Pretty soon I'll start writing my dimensions down for you guys again. I just have been so excited to be able to stamp after my surgery that I really have been unorganized for myself. This is the embellishments that come as part of the Cheerful Daisy suite. And you have the 3 colors, Lemon Lolly, Boho Blue, and Copper Clay. 2 of those are in colors, and 1 is a new core color that will be in our catalog. A brand new color to us, Lemon Lolly, and it's a beautiful color. So that's the embellishments. They're really, really pretty, and they're adhesive solid gems, and look at all of the shimmer that they have. So that's the embellishment. And then speaking of in colors, there are in color embellishments. I haven't used any embellishments on my cards because I kind of use my dies as my embellishment pieces. But here is the in color. They're called 2023 to 2025 in color dots, and they're really pretty. They're flat and they're really shiny, and I love them. They're not a lot of bulk, so if you like not having that bulk, there's the 5 colors there. Really, really pretty. So if you're interested in those are available also on May 2nd. But I hope that you enjoyed watching me stamp this card with the Cheerful Daisy Bundle. Again, I use the time-worn type embossing folder and the tailor-made tags to pair with it. And I hope that you enjoyed the card. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you have anything you want to speak to me about, you can also email me. My email is listed there. Check out my website, inkyhandswarmhearts.com, for more information, detailed photos of this project. And I hope to see you here soon. This is Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. Happy stamping, guys!